So in this video, we're going to cover another cool example of stuff you can do with the Deneb visual in Power BI that leverages Vega Lite. And so in these videos, I've been exploring the different things you could do with the data transformations inside the visual, which really enables some really cool use cases. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how you can do column switching using the fold transform, which is basically an unpivot kind of functionality. And so that in conjunction with the ability to add an input parameter, you can give the user the ability to choose which field or column they want to see as an axis on the visual. And of course, there's some good videos out there on how to do this technique, without Deneb, and you're making a DAX table basically using union and select columns to pull in the different fields and sort of stack them into the same column. Um, and so, you don't need Deneb to get this functionality, but I'm sharing this technique in case you want to use it with other visuals that you may want to create with Deneb that are more customized. Just a reminder to please go ahead and subscribe to the Hoosier BI YouTube channel so that you see all these videos as they come out. All right, so let's jump over and do a quick demo. And how I usually set these up is on the left here, I've got the table of values that are being passed to the visual. So all these same fields are being passed into the Deneb visual in this case. And so I've got a year, a quarter, month column. So my hierarchy, I've added this months from now column, which is just a column from my date table, basically a month index so that I can use it in sorting. And then I have a simple measure here of total quantity to get those values. So if you think about what we're going to do here, I'm basically going to unpivot these three fields. And so these three turn into two, kind of like an attribute and a value. I then filter it down to whether I'm at the month, the quarter, the year, and then sum up all the rows. So if it's at the month granularity, it's just a single row, but at the year, there would be 12 months of rows that get added together to get the this kind of view here at the year level. And so we'll jump in the visual in a second, but this is the functionality you get at the end. So I have it defaulting to year, but you can click here and then see it broken down by quarter or by month, right? So that's kind of a neat effect. So then if we jump into the visual, I can explain how it works. All right, so on the left here is the JSON spec for this visual. The data are coming in. I set the height. I had to add a little padding here between the bottom of the chart and the slicer so that it didn't overlap when the month granularity is set. The slicer comes from this section here, this param section, where I call it time selection. I'm defaulting it to year, and then I'm the user can do an input where they select the one they want, and then these are the choices they have: year, quarter, and month. So I'll collapse that, and then talk about the key parts here. The transform fold is what takes those three fields that I specify: year, quarter, and month, and it unpivots them just like you do in Power Query to an attribute and a value. And if you want to override those names, you can do that here with the as. So I call it unit and period. And then immediately jump into another transformation where I filter on this newly created unit column to the selected value from the parameter. So whether it's year, quarter, or month. Okay, and then from there, it's just a simple bar chart. And so again, it's just a bar. In this case, I'm using the value, which is the period column. We called it above, so I'm calling it that. And then I'm adding some sorting. And again, I'm using that months from now, that month index column that I have. The calendar table that I usually use is a no sort date table. So it uses zero width spaces on any fields that have text in them so that they sort correctly alphabetically without needing a sort by column. And I have a whole different article on that. But the Deneb visual didn't recognize those zero width spaces, so I needed to bring this month index column in to sort stuff. And then because At the month level, we have a single row, but at the year level, we have multiple rows. I'm providing just a simple aggregation here to sum up all the rows for all 12 months to get the year value like as shown here. Okay, so again, um, a simple application, but hopefully you can use this technique in more advanced visuals that you may create. But again, the Deneb visual and Vega Lite bring us some exciting capabilities, and so use your imagination and just think about what you can do with these in visual data transformations or in visual, calculated columns, basically. All right. Thank you.